So time for one of the big events of the day here at the Cardiff Cross Challenge, part of the British Cross Challenge for British Athletics Cross Challenge for 2021-2022, the opening event of that 5-round series. And of course, this is where it gets interesting in the World Athletics Cross Country Tour gold level event. Charlotte Arthur, Jennifer Nesbitt, Izzy Fry, Kate Avery, some big names here, Tim, and a lot to look forward to in this race.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting one, this. Lots of big names. The likes of Charlotte Arthur has recent road form. I think she recently ran the Welsh 5k road record with 15:25 in Vienna. Jenny Nesbitt, I believe, is just returning from altitude training, so it'd be interesting to see what kind of shape she's in from her stint of training in Font-Romeu. You've also got, like you said, Kate Avery, who's got a wealth of experience. She's been the Inter-Counties cross-country champion. She's got a top 30 finish from the World Cross and a silver medal from the Eurocross. You know, big name. Don't forget the likes of Philippa Bowden, the steeplechase specialist. There's lots of big names in this race. Izzy Fry, I believe you mentioned as well. So it's going to be a fascinating battle, this.
Yeah, middle of the screen there, Jenny Nesbitt, who has made her Commonwealth debut in 2018. A strong athlete. I saw her running at BMC Grand Prix in Eltham back in August, and she was very strong there. And I think she's been up, I think as you were saying, doing some altitude training in Font-Romeu, and Charlotte Arthur's been up there as well. It's a place I actually know quite well from another life, and yeah, the runners taking themselves up to altitude whilst the weather's still a little bit nicer, and you should see some good times in the legs. 4:46, Jenny Nesbitt there. We're over a distance of 6,400 meters here, and a few of the athletes have been used to running a little longer distances as well. We've got, as you were saying at the start of the race, some athletes with some big pedigree, the likes of Kate Avery. She's in 4:09. She had a fantastic NCAA career, first British woman to win Division 1 cross country. That was in 2014, I believe. She was an Iona College athlete, so real pedigree from Kate Avery. What a season that was, 2014 for her. Second at the Eurocross Championships and fourth at the Commonwealth Games in 2014 in Glasgow. I got that right, it was Glasgow, wasn't it, 2014? Over 10,000 meters, but it's Jenny Nesbitt running very nicely here to start the race. There were these early exchanges, 4:49, the Cardiff athlete. And she's going from strength to strength. She's got next year's Commonwealth Games in her sights as well. 4:07, Charlotte Arthur just behind her.
Yeah, that's right. She's pulled Charlotte Arthur away with her now, and it looks like Charlotte Arthur's the only athlete willing to go with that pace, and they are moving, to be fair. It looks like a fast pace being set by Jenny Nesbitt. At the moment, Arthur's happy just to sit on the shoulder of Nesbitt and let Nesbitt take the pace. But yeah, no one else is going with them. It looks to be a 2-horse battle at this stage.
Izzy Fry also in that group. I think we see Hannah Irwin. I think maybe it's Nesbitt and Archer.
Just now, Charlotte Arthur's just applying a little bit of pressure to Jenny Nesbitt. Just moved up onto her shoulder a little bit. Just make sure she's aware she's there if she wasn't already. But then she settled back a little bit again, content to allow Jenny Nesbitt to do most of the work as they just relax down this downhill section of the course, really open up.
4:27 going well.
Both athletes look very relaxed though, it must be said. Very little strain. And then if we move back around 20 meters perhaps at a stretch, we've got four athletes in close contention there. So for the minor placings, there's a whole bunch of athletes in contention there, but for vying for first and second, it does look to be Jenny Nesbitt and Charlotte Arter, all about these two athletes.
And Jess Gibbon running well, the Reading athlete in that next group behind Arter.
Yeah, and Jess Gibbon has history here at Cardiff with fourth place last time she was here.
Yeah, she's starting to close in. You can spot the Reading vest quite easily, but Arter and Nesbitt running so nicely, and what an athlete Charlotte Arter is. That Welsh record, 15:25, as she called at the start of the race in Vienna, very recently as well, over 5K. A really fantastic run. She's already got the standard, the 10,000 meter standard for Birmingham 2022. And Charlotte Arter moving to the front of the race, just ahead of Jenny Nesbitt, and Jess Gibbon finding herself in third place on her own. And do you think at this stage she's got to try and either catch up with the front two? It's going to be difficult perhaps running on her own. She's just been able to do that here, as I was about to throw it to you there, Tim. But really impressive there from Jess Gibbon to get in touch with the leaders.
Absolutely, yeah. She has made a big effort there to close in on Nesbitt and Arter, and it is always a tricky one when you find yourself in no man's land. You know, you haven't got the benefit of running in a group or with someone else, and there are benefits to that. You know, sharing the lead, taking the wind. You can definitely conserve energy when you're running with someone else. So if it just depends on the size of the gap. You know, you don't want to expend too much energy in order to catch them up and then be completely spent once you have done. But if it's not too much of a gap to close, then there's definite benefits to doing so. You can settle in, you can relax a bit more with them, and as I say all this, it does look like that gap has reopened. Although I suspect it might be because Arter and Nesbitt have actually upped the pace a little bit. They really look like they're moving here. So I think whilst Jess Gibbon worked well to close that gap, Nesbitt and Arter have just forced the pace a little bit more, and those efforts by Gibbon may have proved to be fruitless, unfortunately for her.
Yeah, it was a huge effort to get in touch with the two leaders, and she's still going strongly, but it was like the two Cardiff athletes seen that Gibbon had got into the mix, and they know she's got a little bit of form from here in the past, and they did push the pace. And now we see Charlotte Arter just giving it, injecting a little bit more into it, and she's quickly put some distance on Nesbitt here as we're getting to the closing stages of this race. So tactically, Charlotte Arter has got this absolutely spot on. She won here in 2019, and the Cardiff athlete is driving towards the finish line. Charlotte Arter, who won 2 years ago, is going to win the Cardiff Cross Challenge in 2021. And she drives across the line and takes it in a time of 20 minutes, 11 seconds. Jenny Nesbitt in second, 20 minutes and 15. And Jess Gibbon not too far back in third place. Hannah Irwin is going to come through in fourth place. 20 minutes, 0.34.
Fresh from a fantastic 4-mile race recently. Superb running.
Izzy Fry, Newbury athlete coming through, and she'll take fifth place ahead of Kate Avery, athlete with a lot of pedigree. Kate Avery, she comes through and takes fifth place there, inside at 21 minutes.
That's Eloise Walker, well done. 4:10, fantastic running. Pippa Bowden.
So let's take a look at the top 8 in the Cardiff Cross Challenge 2021. Charlotte Arter in first place, Jennifer Nesbitt in second, Jess Gibbon in third. It was, Tim, a very tactical race. Really impressed by Jess Gibbon getting in touch, but then towards the end, Charlotte Arter driving away and taking the win.
First aid again to the finishing straight, the finishing shoot, sorry. Halfway down, please, first aid.
So Arthur on the top step of the podium taking the trophy. A good day for the two Cardiff athletes, but Charlotte Arthur winning in 2019. Smiles from Jennifer Nesbitt and Jess Gibbon as well. There's your 1, 2, 3 at the Cardiff Cross Challenge.
All the way, let's go.
Thank you. Yeah, no, really pleased with how the race went. Really tough race. I mean, Jenny really made that a tough race. She took it out from the beginning, and in all honesty, I was just sort of hanging on, trying to buy myself through the race, and it came down to a really exciting sprint finish. So, but yeah, really delighted I could take the win. You know, it's been 2 years since we've done cross country, so it's really great to be back. The crowds have been fantastic. It's great having cross country here in Cardiff, and I think, you know, having the part of the world's athletic series now, and hopefully over the years to come they can grow this event and we can have some top athletes from all over the world coming to race here. So, but yeah, fantastic race. It's always great to kick off the cross country season here in Cardiff. Normally cross country, you know, it could be muddy, it could be wet, it could be dry, and personally I prefer the harder, firmer surface. So this was pretty much ideal. This was practically like a road race. But you know, as the year goes on, I'm sure it's going to get muddier for the rest of the cross country season. But yeah, that's the thing with cross country. It doesn't matter whatever the weather, you just got to turn out and race as well as you can in the conditions and the field you're racing against.
The race went really well. I'm really pleased with how I executed and ran today. I think Charlotte and we trained together. We pushed each other really far today, and we came away with a great result. I mean, I'm a bit of a sucker for the kind of muddier, wetter conditions, so I was hoping for a little bit more rain, but actually it played into my hands today, and I was able to get a really good run out on the surface.
Time now for the senior men here at the Cardiff Cross Challenge, the last race of the day. And it is packed with talent. We're of course part of the British Athletics Cross Challenge. It's the opening event of that 5-day series, which concludes in Loughborough on the 12th of March. And it's the first event of the World Athletics Cross Country Tour, a gold level event. Part of 11 meetings on the World Athletics Cross Country Tour. 5 different countries, and the senior men's race gets underway. This one over the longest distance we've seen as well today, 9,600 meters. And Tim, it's such a tough one to call. It's absolutely packed with talent in this senior men's category.
Absolutely, yeah, you said it. Absolutely packed with talent. From, you know, we've got Olympian Zach Seddon, who competed in this year's Tokyo Olympics in the steeplechase. We've got Zach Mohammed, who's won the national cross-country championships. We've got Jake Smith, recently pacemaker in the London Marathon. He has a 60 minutes and 31 second half marathon PB. So what a class athlete. He was recently 4th in the Great North Run as well. Hugo Milner from Derby, twice winner of the Northern Cross Country Championships in the age groups. We'll be looking to transfer that kind of form across to the senior ranks. Just to name a few, you know, there's some serious talent in this race.
Yeah, Hugo Milner did study out at Harvard University, and we know just the quality, the cross-country racing on the NCAA circuit out in the US, and he's graduated now. But Hugo Milner's been strong over 5K this over the last few months in the park runs, but slightly longer distance here. We'll see what sort of form Hugo Milner is. But Jake Smith, the Cardiff athlete, 3rd fastest in the UK over the half marathon distance, and what a run of form Jake Smith is on. He just seems to be running every single week, and he's popped up here in Cardiff as well at this Cardiff Cross Challenge. So really interesting race. Omar Ahmed, 464, the Birchfield Harrier, another athlete to look out for. We see a very big field. There's some Masters runners in as well, which of course is fantastic to see. But much like the under-20 men, a small group trying to control the race, Tim.
Yeah, looks like maybe 5 or 6 athletes there, and they are moving fast by the seams of it. So that it would explain why it's such a small group. You know, not too many athletes are going to be able to live with this kind of pace. Looks like you can see Zach Mohammed in that group. Jake Smith is clearly there. Trying to spot some of the other athletes there. The tall athlete in the derby vest, that's Hugo Milner. So a lot of the main protagonists are definitely there, and the pace is fast. Looks like 4 athletes in particular have made a breakaway group.
Easy to spot Hugo Milner. He's normally the tallest man in just about every race he's in. Zach Mohammed, 4'9", Southampton athlete in that group as well. Certainly an athlete developing very well. Jake Smith from Cardiff. And the Cardiff runners, of course, know this layout pretty well. They've had such a good day across the categories, the Cardiff athletes, particularly in the senior women's event as well. But that lead group is well clear of the rest of the pack. Omar Ahmed just trying to just getting in front, while Hugo Milner in second place, Jake Smith, and this is building very, very nicely, Tim. You could pick any one of these 4 and would not be surprised to see them take the win.
Absolutely, yeah. They all look relaxed. They all look composed. They're all moving fast. There's nothing to choose between them. Omar Ahmed is the Midlands cross country champion from 2020, so he's got cross country form. He was also he's an Ethiopian refugee and competed in the refugee team at the World Championships in London 2017. Jake Smith looks great. We know his half marathon credentials. Hugo Milner looks to be the one forcing the pace, but it could be any one of those 4 really as they work hard up this hill, still maintaining a good pace. Oh, it was Jake Smith who just stumbled there slightly going around the corner up that hill, but he's quickly back on his feet. It doesn't seem to have affected him at all, and if anything, it looks like Zach Mohammed, who might just be struggling to hold on with the other 3, but even Zach Mohammed is still pretty much there.
Yeah, that little slip from Jake Smith looked like it could cause a lot of problems, but it gave him a little burst of energy, and I wonder if those little slips can come back and bite you a little later on, because you have to put that kick to get back in touch. He recovered nicely. It's Hugo Milner dropping back to 3rd place, and Omar Ahmed still in second. But what a battle we've got here in the senior men category, is Jake Smith trying to take the form from the road, off-road, and he's trying to see if he can get a little bit of daylight between himself and the rest of the pack. Zach Mohammed, as you called it, Tim, just had been struggling to keep in touch, and he has drifted a little further back. We've got a group of 3 leading this race. It is Jake Smith in the Cardiff vest, as we see some of the Masters runners there. There's Phil in the Gwent League, and the leaders in the senior men's race are still going strong. And well, it's so hard to call. We see Omar Ahmed in that black Birchfield Harriers vest just drifting back to 3rd place now, as I think Jake Smith has really pushed this race a little further and the pace has gone up.
Absolutely. It was Hugo Milner who was forcing the early pace, but the order has changed somewhat, and now it's Jake Smith who is really keen to force the pace, but failing to drop either Omar Ahmed or Hugo Milner, as they're having to also negotiate a lot of lapped runners at this stage as well, which adds obviously an extra dynamic to it.
Yeah, that can pose a little problem. At times it just shows the pace of these leading men. But well done, of course, to all the Masters athletes out there running on a beautiful day, and they're doing a fantastic job of keeping out the way of the leaders and the marshals as well, and everyone's just making sure they are aware as we see Omar Ahmed running on his own here.
Yeah, this is really turning into a fascinating race. You know, Hugo Milner's had his turn at the front, Jake Smith had his turn at the front, and now it's Omar Ahmed's turn to really force the pace. And I'm struggling to actually see Jake Smith now. Of course, there's a lot of lap runners, which makes it difficult, but it does look like the two of them have dropped Jake Smith, and it's now a two-way battle between Omar Ahmed and Hugo Milner.
Hugo Milner is trying to get back in touch with Omar Ahmed, who keeps looking over his shoulder. Ahmed is nervous. Has he got enough? But it's Hugo Milner who's chasing down Omar Ahmed, who's looking across his shoulder. Omar Ahmed, can he hold on? 4.64, but Hugo Milner's got a big sprint finish. It's going to be so close on the line. Hugo Milner comes through just ahead of Omar Ahmed. And what a run from Hugo Milner. There is Jake Smith. He comes through in third place, but Tim, what a finish we had there.
What a finish, what an amazing race as well. Like I say, different phases of the race appeared to show different people as the dominant force. There was a phase where Hugo Milner early on in the race looked like the man to beat. Then it looked like to be all about Jake Smith. But then in the final stages, the surge that Omar Ahmed put in looked absolutely commanding, but Hugo Milner never gave in, never relented, and was able to produce quite the finish there to just come past Omar Ahmed again in the final closing stages. So, you know, a lot of change there, and that's what we like to see in cross country. You don't always see races like that, but it's great when it happens like that.
Hugo Milner taking the win, 27.18, using that big stride he's got to just pip Omar Ahmed, 27.20 in second place. Jake Smith, the Cardiff athlete, 27.29, finishing in third. And Mohammed from Southampton, 27.55, a little further back, but still a very good run from Zach Mohammed. But the three leaders well clear of the rest of the field. And Hugo Milner, well, he couldn't have timed it any better, just getting Ahmed on the line. Great run from him. So Jake Smith making his way onto the podium. He just continues to pick up really strong results across a number of distances. Very exciting young athlete is Jake Smith from Cardiff, and another good race from him today. Omar Ahmed, Birchfield Harrier. I think he'll look back and wonder if he could have gone a little earlier and put a bit more distance between himself and Hugo Milner. He saw he was a little nervous, looking over his shoulder, but still a lot to be proud of today for Omar Ahmed, taking second place at the Cardiff Cross Challenge. And Hugo Milner, all smiles from him, the Derby Athletics Club athlete, taking the win, 27.18, and a fantastic start to the cross-country season for Hugo Milner. So with the podium ceremonies just about complete, we will now hear from the top athletes from today's race, the top two from this Cardiff Cross Challenge.
You never know, you could end up on the top spot of the senior podium. So, and I tell you what,
the race was fantastic. You know, I thought it is very hard, but it is very good. Yeah, I am so happy to come the second, and then I'm very excited to challenge with good guys. You know, like the Jack Smith, and then this guy. You know, it's very fantastic racing. Yeah.
Really hot conditions out here today. How did you manage that?
Yeah, it is not hot for me. You know, I came from the East Africa. There was very hot, but this is not hot for me. Yeah, I'm very excited. Yeah.
Perfect conditions, a fantastic race. What's next for you?
My next race is the Abbey Dash in Leeds next week, 10K. So I thought I'm gonna chasing the Jack Smith, but he pulled out to facing the Abdi Bashir for marathon. Yeah.
Yeah, the race was really good today. Wasn't really expecting it to be so hot for a cross-country race. Really fast race today. I wore my watch, which I don't normally do, and I think I clocked 4:46 per mile for 6 miles. So you know, that's really fast for a cross-country race. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And to be honest, I thought I was going to get dropped on that last lap, and I just kept going. And I don't normally win sprint finishes, so it was nice to get past someone on the last 100 meters and win the race. Yeah, the atmosphere was amazing. To be honest, most of the support was for Jake. Obviously, him being from Cardiff and the race being in Cardiff, all I could hear was support for Jake. But I had my dad and a few supporters out on the course, and they were shouting my name and stuff, so that was really nice. Yeah, definitely really enjoyed the cross challenge, and it's been about 5 years since I last did the cross challenge. I think I was under 17 there, and then I went to America for 4 years, and this is the first time I've come back and done a cross-country race, so feels really nice to be back.
His thoughts on the event and cross-country racing as a whole. And Tim, what a day we've had here at the Cardiff Cross Challenge. What's the highlight for you?
The highlight for me are probably the two senior races, the senior women's races, the senior men's race. Both were stacked fields. There was some great racing in the age groups as well, but in particular, that senior men's race we finished on was just such a race of different phases with different people taking charge at different stages of the race. And I just want to go back to a question you asked of me just before we cut to Tim Hutchins' interview regarding Hugo Milner and Omar Ahmed, and whether Ahmed might have wished he'd just kicked that little bit earlier. I mean, it was a long run from home as it was anyway, but if we remember back to Milner's interview that we saw, then I suspect Ahmed might be wishing he'd kicked a little bit earlier. But what a race, what a race.
Well, a fantastic day here in Cardiff, Llandaf Fields for the Cardiff Cross Challenge. Well done to all of the athletes taking part, and of course the organisers as well, this event. Kicking off the British Athletics Cross Challenge and the World Athletics Cross Country Tour.